So I've just set up to get ready to start a new piece. And one thing that has been different about one being older and having more experience, but when I started Works of Mod, one thing that was very different about it than my younger years was there was a very intentional focus as to the kind of art that I would be making, what that art was going to look like, and what places and what walls I envisioned the art to be hanging on. So for example, this piece, before I even got out here, I had already been in Photoshop doing a mock-up of what this art piece is going to become. That started with a general concept, then it came down to determining exact measurements. And one reason that's helpful and important is because when it comes time to offer printed canvas versions of this, then I already know I've got it in a size predetermined that's going to be set up and ready for that canvas print option that I'm going to be offering as well. So there's going to be one original, it's one of one. Once it's gone, and then I'll have printed canvas versions available after that. And it's important to figure that out in advance so that once you get to that point, you're not scrambling and having a bunch of cluster moments. Also, as part of this process, I've already envisioned the living room that this could hang in, the hotel lobby, what that might look like, where this piece might hang in that lobby. I already have a sense of the decor and the style that is going to go with this piece. I have a sense of the type of home that this would work cohesively inside. And that is very different than the very first art pieces, the very first creative things in general that I did. And I think this is true for everyone. It tends to be kind of a selfish process, but that's natural, right? But it just takes some experience and some time of creating art to realize not every aspect of what you're going to do can just 100% be about whatever it is that you want without any care to anybody else or any other factors or any other considerations. I mean, I guess there is circumstances where that happens, but I think those tend to be more in the coincidence category. Whereas I think people who are really making art work understand that there is a customer service element that is a part of the process. In other words, it's not only 100% about them, but at the same time, what is great about starting this piece is I am 100% excited about it. I don't feel like there's been any compromises as to, me not getting to do what I really want. I'm really excited about this piece. I might even say the excitement is even higher because I know that there's going to be a place where this is going to belong and a certain customer base and customer type that's going to be able to appreciate this and want this when it's done. And so maybe what that really all is when it works together is just that perfect storm that allows you to both be loving and excited about the work that you're doing, and yet also knowing that there's a place where it makes sense for it to belong that's ready and waiting when it's done. So hopefully you found that interesting or helpful in some way, and I'm going to go ahead and get started. Growing up as a creative or artist can be really, really confusing. Since your high school teachers had no idea how creatives and artists made a living, they told you to do something else with your life. Since your parents also didn't know how creatives and artists made a living, they told you the same thing. Then, after going against everyone's advice and getting $150,000 into debt to go to art school, you found out upon graduation that the one thing they forgot to teach you was how to make a living as a creative or artist. So now you continue to stay wherever you ended up in life thinking there is no answer. But that's only because no one ever told you about Camp Shark Smarts. Camp Shark Smarts accomplishes something no one else seems to be able to figure out, which is to provide a framework that successfully shows creatives and artists how to support themselves financially, and this is the important part, as creatives and artists. Right now, there are creatives and artists hiding in plain sight in your same community doing just that. They're not having to try to fit in at a job they hate, and they're getting paid really well to meet all kinds of artistic needs and wants. Much like in The Wizard of Oz, the answer you've been looking for has been within your grasp all along. It's also something you're currently being exposed to on a daily basis. chances are all you've ever needed was someone to explain it to you in a way that made sense. So if you're ready to finally know what it feels like to make a living as a creative or artist, head over to campsharksmarts.com and start learning how for free. The link will also be available in the description.